speaking about
Oh, yes.
India, or
Yes.
um, oh my God, Eiffel Tower, right?
Yes. Yeah, those are all like marvelous things. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, for engineers who built that and thought about it and stuff, it's just like, mind-boggling for me to even fathom the fact that they came up with that structure, had that vision in their head, and said, "This is how it's going to look, and this is how it's going to be placed." And it's like a monument that the whole world is going to enjoy it.
Actually, interestingly, there's a temple. I don't know if you know, in Varangal, the Thousand Pillars Temple, it's called.
I've
So,
heard of it.
so when I went there, and like we could get access to some of the sketches which were made in like the pretty olden era.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, they were showing us like how it was done, and I was quite impressed. Like they had a lot of things which they had access to even back then. If you
Mm-hmm.
see the drawings and all, they were super perfect. So I was like, okay, they just maybe didn't have this technology or resources to, publicize it, but they were like supremely talented. So maybe that's the reason they're still standing and so perfect. That
Oh
could
yeah,
be, yeah.
I, I completely agree with that. Like, I feel there is a lot of like, knowledge transfer that happens from one generation to another generation, or one set of evolution to another set of evolution. It's just over the period of time, maybe there's a what do you call, there's a block, or there's a blankness where one evolution couldn't pass on anything. When I
Mhm.
say anything, like anything written document saying, okay, this is what it did, this is how we did it. So,
Mhm.
but the real structures are there, but there's no documentation. I mean, when I say no documentation, maybe it's destroyed, maybe it's not well preserved. So,
Yes.
like you mentioned, there's amazing Indian temples that even I know of. It's like phenomenal. Like, how did they even come? And even talk about pyramids, right?
Oh, that's my biggest interest too. Yes.
Yeah,
That's a natural wonder, actually. I would say that.
yeah. I mean, I was reading up, or I was looking up some YouTube video, and there's a conspiracy theory that aliens built it. That's how
Yes.
much new it is to us.
Yes. In fact, I have a friend from Egypt. Like when I was talking to him, when I told him this, he was like, okay, I didn't know that people had this kind of, feeling. But yeah, even they did a lot of research to understand how that was built. Like you said, yeah, the knowledge transfer should have been better preserved in this case because we would still do that great. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, they are the strongest ones. And also, when I saw the Hoover Dam, I
Hmm.
was same way, like the same interest I got in, because as a part of my master study we had to like understand how to preserve structures. So
Hmm.
we did visit many temples and churches back in Italy as well. So as a part of that project we had to do some other countries structure as well. So I selected Hoover Dam. It's it's a lot of history. It's a lot of
Is it?
history, but what I felt is they preserved it enough so
Hmm.
for the people to understand what all they went through, and it was good. It was good to know.
It's amazing. And talk about PhD and writing papers.
Hmm.
Um, you once mentioned to me that you were pretty upset about how people think PhD is done, at least
Hmm.
nowadays. Everybody
Hmm.
thinks you put up the stuff on ChatGPT, and then you
Yeah.
ask it to write, and it writes everything for you. You just put it in, you just polish it and then publish it.
Hmm.
What are your thoughts about it?
Okay, so yeah, this is very weird, like right now, because okay, one reason because of the technology, maybe I don't know, but I feel that education and research is like two diverse things right now,
Hmm.
at least. Because before it was, we didn't have access to this much technology like ChatGPT. We don't know if someone used it as well, right? In nowadays
Hmm.
generation. But research is something like innovative, and you cannot really use a medium to completely come up with something. It might aid you into getting into certain level, but it cannot create something for you.
Oh no.
So that's what I feel personally. But also, I think they are limiting the use of ChatGPT a lot because there is that feeling that the creativity in researchers' minds, will end. So, yeah, that's one of the reasons they are also not encouraging practicing it too much. But yes, I have had questions like, say, there were students who were asking me, okay, now I did this subject, like say bridge engineering, and they passed it, and they're like, oh, was super easy. This is just like a normal subject, which I finished in for like, say, what, one semester. And I think the PhD is just like a couple of another semesters, which I can finish it with. I think even I can do PhD. I was like just staring at them because no, it isn't. It isn't like that. Even if there is an established concept you want to work towards and improve it, there is immense amount of challenge you'll be facing along the way,
Mm-hmm.
because you really need to come up with something in your topic. If not, they wouldn't really award the PhD, to be frank. So like, say for example, even in my case, I was using some concepts which are good enough and well established, but I have improvised it in certain ways to link a subject which was like in terms of structural this is. So there's something called pile embedments, which is
Mm-hmm.
like the connection between the bridge and the pile, you could say, the foundation systems. So that was very untouched. So I thought I will connect this to the existing research. So even to get to that point, I think I took 1.5 year, just like that. So the thought to come into your head, even now, the place where I work, I see that my professor like keeps telling, if you are in PhD, your mind is 24/7 in PhD. It's not
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, I'll come at 9, go at 5 and sleep. It's not like that. You keep thinking about that, only that, then you can resolve it. So there are many challenges attached to it, and you need to solve the problem. Here, it's like no one tells you what's the solution. You have to come up with one. So
Got
that's the challenge. So this is the difference. ChatGPT cannot give you that answer. So
true, true.
at least for now.
At least for now. So that
Yeah.
that would be the right way to put it, huh?